Hello Linda, welcome back to my channel. Oh boy, did I miss saying this out loud. Wow. First of all, happy new year. How are you guys? Did you all miss me? Because I certainly did. Anyways, you guys, it's new year. It's 2022 and it's the same old me, the same old setup. I'm feeling weird to do this after so long, although I'm very happy, but then it's kind of weirding me out in a way. Also, it's my first video of 2022, you guys, so can we have a hallelujah please? So in today's video, I'm gonna be reviewing the newly launched K-Beauty concealers. So without rambling any further and without weirding you guys out with my weirdness, let's continue with the video. Also, completely out of context, recently got my nails done and I love it. It's a really nice peacock blue sort of a color and I really like it. And I also got an evil eye. Also, my necklace has an evil eye on it to shoo away all the negativity that is around me. So yeah.
Okay.
These are the K-Beauty HD Liquid Concealer. Comes in 13 different shades and it's meant to cover dark circles, sculpt your face or highlight. Has a high hydrating formula which is creaseless, gives a seamless HD matte finish and lasts all day long. The packaging on these concealers are so in brand with other products from K-Beauty. It has the K-Beauty logo monogram all over it. The white cap applicator on this one is a doe foot applicator like so. On one side it is pretty flat, on the other side it has a dent in the center which holds the product in. So yeah, it's a very different kind of an applicator. I've not seen an applicator in a concealer like this. At least they've done something different. Not the packaging is pretty standard, but the wand is different than other concealers, which I like. And just like their foundation, they also come in different undertones, pink, yellow and neutral. So for me, I picked up two shades over here. I have the shade 140Y medium and also the lightest shade, which is 100Y light. When I picked up these two shades, I kinda was looking for concealer shade that I can use all over my face, and that's the reason why I picked the shade 140Y medium, hoping that it matches me really well. And from the swatches online, it felt like it would match my skin tone perfectly, but when I received it, it is actually a little dark on me and it also runs orange. According to the description, it is supposed to have a yellow undertone, but then it runs orange. Speaking of the undertone, I feel like with the shade selection and also the undertone that they have in these concealers is very off. I also said this in my foundation video that 20 shades is not enough shades, but they did come up with shades that suit a lot of different Indian skin tones and undertones. But I feel like with this concealers, they sort of missed the mark. I feel like doesn't really cater to a lot of consumers in terms of skin tone and undertone. Okay, so this is what my face looks like. You can see a lot of redness on my face. That's because I'm PMSing and I'm about to get my periods and I'm bound to get pimples on my face, so that's exactly the situation that you're seeing right now. First, let's give you guys swatches of both the shades. First one is 140Y medium and the other one is in the shade 100Y light. So these are the shades, what it looks like once it's blended out. You can see the shade is a tad bit too darker. Once I look straight, I think you can tell it definitely runs a little orange, the shade 140Y medium. I'm gonna be taking a mixture of these two and just applying it all over my face. So I'm going to be using a brush to blend my concealer all over my face. Okay, so I've switched the settings a little bit, so now you guys can see exactly how the the concealer is looking like on my face with one layer. It did even out my skin tone and it did cover the redness that I had all over my face. However, the pimples that I have, like the pimple here and here, it hasn't really covered it as much, but this is pretty doable for me because I do not go for like super coverage base product anyways. Okay, so now for my under eyes, I'm again gonna be using both the shades right here. So first I'm gonna go in with the shade 140 because I do have some darkness that I need to cover. So this side I'm gonna be blending out using my beauty blender, and this side I'm gonna be using my trusty old pack brush to blend my concealer. So now I'm gonna be using the shade 100Y light and I'm just gonna be highlighting that area. So while we are at it, I'm also gonna be highlighting the centers of my face Okay, so let me give you guys a little close-up as to what my face looks like now that I have full face of the K-Beauty concealer. So when they launched their foundation, I was really hoping that they would launch the concealer. So I knew that I had to get this as soon as it launched. Placed the order for these concealers the day it launched, and I did receive it on time, but sadly not able to shoot this video for you guys earlier. And I'm really sorry about that. And I'm really happy that I did not shoot like a first impression on these concealers. While I did have this concealer on me for a really long time, I was actually able to use this and gather my opinions about this concealer. Just like any of my other reviews, the reviews that I'm gonna give you guys for these concealers are solely based on how it performed on my skin. I have not even watched one video of anybody reviewing these concealers because I didn't want someone else's opinion change the way that I think about these concealers. So I went ahead with a clean slate while I was trying these concealers for, I would say, probably a week to 10 days now. First things first, I'm not really happy with the shade selection that they have. The swatches that you see online, I feel like is different than the actual product itself. I use the shade 130Y in their foundation. So when I got this concealer, I was not hoping it to be that dark on me the way that it actually is. In fact, I'm gonna swatch both the foundation and the concealer next to each other so you guys can get an idea as to how dark the concealer is as compared to the foundation, which is only like a shade lighter. The shade jump between my shade and the next shade itself is too much. Like these concealers blends out effortlessly, works really well both with a brush and a beauty blender, but I personally prefer using it with a sponge. So the way I like to use a certain product depends on the way that they perform with the tools that I'm using, and a beauty blender is definitely the tool that I would use if I were to use these concealers. I'm really happy with the coverage that it provides. Medium to buildable, almost full coverage, which is great because it did cover up the redness that I had and the pimples that I have on my face really well. Like even now that I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I can barely see any redness peeking through. There might be like a pimple here and there which needs a little bit more coverage, but so far you can't even tell that I do have a lot of breakouts on my face. So coverage wise, I really like the coverage. Also, it feels really lightweight on your skin. Like I would definitely agree to their claim when they said that it feels extremely lightweight and it feels like second skin like. Usually when you use concealer all over your face, it can give you a little heavy sort of a feeling because concealers in general have like a thicker consistency to it, and since it is meant to use on a targeted area, if you use it all over your face, it can feel heavy on your skin, but this one surprisingly doesn't. It also claims to have a hydrating formulation, but I would not agree to it because it doesn't feel hydrating whatsoever. In fact, I feel the opposite of it. It does have a demi matte finish like it claims to have, but it does not feel hydrating whatsoever. Now speaking about how I actually felt using this concealer, personally I'm not a huge fan of this concealer because I have used a lot of concealers, and in fact if you see my vanity right now, I have so many concealers. That says something because on a day-to-day basis I like to use just a concealer to spot correct here and there and conceal my under eyes. The issue that I have with this concealer is that when you initially apply it, it looks really flawless, but the minute you set it, it ends up looking very heavy. I've mentioned this in my previous videos as well that I am not someone who has wrinkles or who has issues with concealer creasing on their under eyes, but this concealer, every time I set it, somehow settles into my under eyes, and I don't even understand how is that even possible. I do not have wrinkles. It somehow still settles into my under eyes and it makes it look really heavy and cakey, considering that it has a formulation which leaves your skin feeling very skin-like and feels really lightweight. I wouldn't expect a concealer do something like this on my face and on my under eyes. I do not want my concealers make me look older by bunching up in the places which it has never been a point of issue for me, and this is coming from someone who doesn't even have wrinkles to begin with. So that was everything that I wanted to mention about these concealers, and if you guys haven't guessed it, I would not recommend these concealers by K-Beauty. I had such high expectations from these, and this is definitely not the concealer that I would gravitate to for like my everyday use. I would say you can probably skip on these and look for something else because even the price point is not really that affordable. It is for like 800 bucks, and for concealer which is for 800 rupees, I would expect a lot out of it. Okay, so there you go guys, that was my short and sweet review on these concealers by K-Beauty. beauty. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful, and in case if you did, then don't forget to like this video and also share this video with your friends and family in case if they are curious about these concealers. Help them save their coins. And yeah, that is it, you guys. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel in case if you haven't already. It would mean the world to me. And while you guys are at it, come follow me on Instagram because I love talking to you guys over DMs. That's fun. So yeah, with that, you guys, I'm gonna take a leave and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Bye, Linda. Mwah.